Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the stream. I am back. Finally. And I'm adjusting the audio for the music. That looks good right there. Welcome, everybody. Boy, oh boy, it's been an interesting 72 hours over here. Lots of changes, lots of stuff going on, and it's fun. I've had a fun time. I've had a lot of fun with it. It's been very fun. I was supposed to be on Wednesday. On Wednesday, I was supposed to do the testing stream for the 5060 Ti that NVIDIA kindly sent me. Now, I'm going to be clear. I didn't ask for that. Didn't ask them to send me this one because apparently GPU reviews on my channel don't, just straight up hardware reviews, I guess, don't really do too well on my channel. Partially my fault. A lot of that was actually my fault, but you know, it is what it is. But they did send it, and I appreciate that. And I was like, you know what? Let's do a testing stream like we did with the 5070 Ti. Apparently, I just don't have it within me anymore ever to set up a capture properly with these USB capture cards. So that's been fun. But it is what it is. So I'm gonna. That's still up in the air. It's gonna be TBA. Whenever that's going to happen. I would be working on it seriously right up until 8 p.m. and I wouldn't even have a thumbnail ready for the YouTube side of things because they want that, but you know. Anyways, let's say hi to people over on Twitch land. What's going on? Laxky Repeat, how's it going? Welcome. Bone Shock, how are you? I'm having a day, that's for sure. I'm live again. I'm back with you guys, so I'm cool with that. What's up, Sick PCs? How's it going? Bone Shock says different mic. Indeed. Observant. And that's because with this, I can directly monitor it, and I don't get the delay that Elgato causes with Wavelink, which I don't know how anybody who uses Wavelink consistently deals with that latency in the monitoring. It drives me crazy. I don't know how you deal with that. Dodger Dog, welcome. How's it going? And Skeeter Gaming, if I already said hi, doing it again. What's up, Skeeter? And over on YouTube land, Steve, how are you? Have a dreamy streamy. Will do. I've got that Black Pro Mist filter on there, so that helps a little bit. You can see a little bit of glow around things. Alice, welcome. How are you? And Sonder PCs, what's going on? Welcome. Robert Fix It, what's going on? Welcome back to Civilization. I feel welcome. I do. Howdy, Bearthorn. Magic mic is missing. Don't worry. Right here. Right here. It's just, unless I want to move the Rodecaster Pro 2 over here, which is probably what's going to happen at some point. This is going to be my main angle for everything at a certain point. Unless I want to do that, I have to use the XLR dock right here in the Stream Deck Plus. You see it right there. There's the XLR dock, right? The XLR port right there. But then I am straight up dealing with the latency that comes with that when it comes to monitoring my voice, which is something that I've done for a long time. I've always preferred to monitor my voice when I'm talking. It lets me know how my voice is coming through. And now the thing is, because of this, I'm doing a lot of my stuff still through Wavelink. So there's like, I added in compression and noise filtration, and I can't hear any of that because I'm not getting my monitoring from Wavelink. It would be a couple of like a dozen milliseconds behind and driving me crazy. So hopefully, you guys let me know, but hopefully the microphone sounds good. You let me know if the microphone sounds good. It looks like it's a little low, actually. Let me see if I can turn that up a little bit. Check, microphone check. Yeah, it was coming in a little bit low, and it looks like it's still doing that. So I might have to adjust my compression here a little bit. Why is it doing that? Don't do that. Let me do a... Huh. Well, I guess we're just gonna... No. Let's boost that. All right, check. Microphone, check. Check. Mic check. 1, 2. Okay, that's better. It was coming in at like negative 18 decibels, and I like to be at around neg 6 to neg 12. So that was bothering me. Yeah, this doesn't need to be that compressed. Check. Microphone check. All right, that's perfect. V for V, I'm here for the ice cream. Welcome, everyone. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, so I will not say anything. Titan Go 82, welcome. Thank you for coming in. Dodger Dog says, I have a Fifine mic. I like Fifine microphones. I really do. And this one happens to be, in case I mean, look, once I'm going back to XLR, it's Super 55 time, all the time. All right, this is my favorite microphone that I own. And I own a lot of microphones, actually. The close second to this is my KSM32, another Shure mic. I am not a fanboy when it comes to your NVIDIA versus AMD versus Intel. When it comes to microphones, though, bit of a Shure fanboy, not gonna lie. Okay? Never had an SM7B, though. Doesn't seem like this just makes more sense for broadcasting to me. Anyway. But Fifine makes a fine mic. And this one, if so, what was this? The like something 60 or 58, something like that. Turn the mic down just a tad. All right, sure. Okay. All right. Check. Well, we'll see. I have that mic as well. Yeah, so this one has both USB-C and XLR. So it makes a fantastic microphone if you're starting out with a USB setup and you eventually want to move over to an XLR interface without having to buy a new microphone right away because you're spending the money on the XLR interface. You can use it for starting out with that. Pretty cool. It was slightly distorted before. Okay. I'm turning down the gain here. That should help. Bone Shock says it sounds good. Mic sounds pretty good. I have the Tank 3. Almost got the one you're using now. They reached out to me and they want me to look at a different microphone, and I might do it. But it's like the really like chintzy looking one. It's kind of cool, but like kind of gimmicky, where it has the ring around it and then the SM7B looking microphone coming out of it. To me, they have one that's more interesting is where it has a form factor like a much more expensive microphone. Which one? What was it? I don't remember the name of it, but it doesn't have the same like chrome finish or brush steel finish. I'm interested in that one. I think it was Earthworks. Man, Addy would smack me over the head for not remembering that microphone. It's he really likes that one. Anyways. Not sounding low to me. Good. All right. Gorax 757, what's going on? Welcome. But yeah, Sonder PCs have that mic as well. I like. Do you mean the Fifine microphone or the Super 55? I feel like the Super 55 is not an entry-level microphone. This is an kind of like, you just need to know XLR interfaces. You need to kind of get that right and have your have some kind of interface that allows you to modify this, unless you know your OBS plugins, so you can do your audio plugins and adjust it that way. This is not just an immediate boost in your sound. It is a supercardioid dynamic microphone of the simplest style. I learned it. I love it. The Tank 3 mic I have can be used XLR USB. I'm going with USB on it for now. That's same as this. And honestly, I don't think it's very expensive for microphone manufacturers to do the dual interface. It makes for a larger body, for sure, because the XLR is a way bigger connection. But it adds a lot of utility and sort of longevity to every microphone that they sell. They've been doing it in a few of their microphones. And I've met the Five Fine people at CES before. Very nice people. Very, very nice people. The thing is, if a company were to come to me and say, hey, look, we want to be your main streaming microphone. We'll pay you so many dollars. I don't think I would do it. People like, one of the things I get the most comments about, and you guys have seen it, is the microphone. Like, I love this thing. You know, whole part of my aesthetic now. I did talk to Shure at NAB because they do some custom things. Like with Point Crow, they have a custom white MV7, which is a microphone I used to use, by the way. I have one kicking around here somewhere. And I was like, look, I'm not anywhere near Point Crow's size, but if I ever got to that point, could we do a purple anodized aluminum Super 55? But this is steel. This is not aluminum. Thing is heavy as hell. It's super durable. So it's steel. That is so you can't anodize steel. That's not how that works. But okay, so for those of you who are here for your first time, let's talk. This is going to be probably also a stream with less attendance because it's Tuesdays and Thursdays every week. But I already told y'all the story. I told y'all what happened. Okay. If this is your first time here and you're looking for help with getting a PC, like a pre-built PC or a DIY parts list made out for you, just for you, for your particular needs and budget, you're in the right place. There's a process to it, and I'm ready to help you out. So if you're watching on Twitch, you have already seen, in fact, just before Sick PC said better. Hold on, I keep covering up my... Okay, right just before Sick PC said better in the actual chat is a link right there. You click that link and you fill out that form. Take your time a little bit, because if you ignore any of the instructions, you give me permission to roast you on stream for it. That's part of the first thing you look at when you click on that form. It tells you that. Anyway, no big deal though. That's all in good fun. Fill out that form, and when you're done, all you have to do is let me know that you've done it. Oh, on YouTube side, it's in the description. It's super easy. It's the very first thing in the description. Right there. So, fill out that form. It gets you on the list. That's a capital T, capital L, the list. So, we haven't had anyone fill out the form tonight yet. We just started. But it is very easy to do. It asks you questions you should be asking yourself anyway if you're buying a PC or building a PC. Pretty basic stuff. What are you going to use it for? What's your actual budget range? Like maximum budget. Don't lowball yourself. This is an investment. What's your actual maximum budget range? Whatever that number is fine. You just need to know what that is going into this. And just stuff like that, you know? Then once you've done that, you have to let me know. I won't automatically correlate a name I see in chat with the one that I see here. Sometimes I do that, but that's why there is a process to this. Over on Twitch side, you're going to drop an emote in chat and I'll show you. There it is. That's the emote right there. It says, I'm on the list. See that? See, it's on the screen here. It's right there. That's the one you use if you're watching on Twitch. How do I get that? I don't have emotes from your channel. If you follow the channel, that's a free emote that you get. You do not need to subscribe. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, this exists on YouTube, but only for paying members, and I'm not about that. That's just all that YouTube allows me to do for custom emotes. There's no free custom emotes with YouTube. They don't make enough money, I think. I think that's the problem. Anyway, so you just have to type out at Breathorn, I'm on the list. And if you're thinking to yourself, what is that word? What is that name? Who the hell calls themselves that? What is that name supposed to mean? Don't worry about it. The name is spelled right there on the channel for you. And if you type in the @ symbol and start typing BRAE, heck, I have it on my shirt right here. How can you miss it? It's right there. Well, if I'm leaning over, that's how you can miss it. But just type @Bray. It'll fill out the rest. Just click it. It'll fill out the rest for you. I'm on the list. @Brayathorn, I'm on the list. That's how I'll know. It'll highlight the chat for me because you just put my name in there. And you spelled it correctly. So. Anyone who goes ahead and fills out the form is going to be first tonight. Now, this is not just for people who fill out the form tonight. If you filled out the form during a previous stream, just saying stuff in chat is not going to magically remind me that 2 weeks ago you filled out the form and you've been waiting for help. You need to do the same process that I just said on Twitch. Use the emote on YouTube, type @Brayathorn, I'm on the list, so that I know you're not just here hanging out, which I love that. That's awesome. Even if you're just lurking, that's still a great way to support what I do. It lets me know that you're here, but you're also waiting for help. So even if you filled it out 2 weeks, a month ago, whatever, you still got to let me know. I moved chat to a monitor I have over here, and I am not used to that. I'm used to it being up there on the TV that I have there. So I'm going to be doing that a lot tonight. I hope you're ready for that. Anyway, chat, other than all the PC matchmaking stuff, how are y'all doing? Please catch me up on what's been going on for you. How's it going? Alpha makes over 30 billion annually off ad revenue on YouTube. They are going to be fine. Well, V for V, yeah, that's why I should have put a /S on the end of that, but you can't really do that with spoken word, I suppose. But I was being sarcastic. Yeah, they will be fine. Yeah, but please, guys, tell me how you're doing. Tell me what's going on in your world. I'd love to hear it. I'm just, over the last 72 hours, I've just been a quivering ball of frustration and also self-doubt, because I used to have this status, okay? And it wasn't one I assigned to myself, but that I could pretty much fix anything. Tech-wise, back during my IT days. I learned it from the boss that I had at the time, who people, would call him Batman, because he kind of had the right tool for the job all the time, and he fixed stuff all the time, and I kind of picked up the desire to be that way from him, to try to be able to fix whatever tech problem I encountered, and particularly with PCs. Now, I wouldn't call myself the greatest technician that's ever lived. I wouldn't call myself that. That's trademarked. I was damn close to it. But for myself, for my own needs, apparently I don't bring my work home with me. Oh, God. Should have called him MacGyver. Yeah, but he liked Batman more than MacGyver. So I think that's why that stuck. I wonder how old Ken's doing. He was a great guy. Great teacher. Reluctant teacher, but a great teacher. Not that reluctant. He still wanted his... but basically, he was the IT admin, or sysadmin, that I learned from and then eventually tried to be like when I became a sysadmin. How's you, Bray? Just what I was describing. It's just been a lot of frustration. Like, seriously. So here was my solution to the problems I was having. I remembered that I had another system that I had been building to be a dedicated streaming machine. And like the 7950X3D, 64 gigs of DDR5 6000, X670E Aorus Master motherboard, awesome motherboard. And I got that system. I'd taken the GPU out of that, but then I was like, you know what, if I'm gonna use this for streaming, because that's what I was thinking, I'll use that for streaming and use the use the King 95 system for testing stuff because it has the 9800X3D in there, which if you're testing GPUs, that takes the CPU out of the equation, yada, yada. And everything, refreshed everything in that system, fresh OS, all the updates, all the good stuff, and put the 5070 in there. Everything you need for streaming. 5070 is totally fine for that. And gaming, of course, too. But, well, I mean, depending. You don't go 4K with a 5070. But I thought there was a good use for it. And nope. It would not recognize this stupid capture card. And, you know, I could go over this all day. But basically, I did that. And then I was like, okay, what if I use that with the 5060 Ti for testing? Because the 7950X3D is close to the 9800X3D in performance when it comes to gaming. So I'll do that, and then I'll put the King 95 back in place as a streaming machine, and yada yada. And then now the capture card's not being recognized by the King 95 system, whereas it was before. Yeah, it's that bad. Uninstalled drivers, reinstalled drivers for both the capture card itself. I updated the firmware on it too, by the way. You know, same thing with, you know, GPU drivers, everything. DDU, everything, all fresh. BIOS update for that X670E Aorus master motherboard. It's just been, I mean, it's been days of work trying to fix it. Added a second Sony Alpha ZV-E10 to my PC building set to replace the GoPro I was using. Pretty excited about that. Love the ZV-E10. That's the camera. Like the original ZV-E10 is what I built my channel on. Love that camera. It's still in use. It's my top-down camera now. That's a great camera. I know the second version is even better. Are you going to be very disappointed when you listen to this dream? You are going to be very disappointed when you listen to this dream. Listen to your own mic. Is it not sounding good? I mean, it's hard to beat a Super 55. Maybe I'll turn off the... Dodger Dog says it sounds fine to me. Did the capture card go bad? It could have. It's still lighting up, so I don't know. Braithorn completed the form. Lol, first time here. Please let me know if I did something wrong. You just need to use the emote to let me know you're on the list. Titan Go. And I know you just told me, but using the emote shows that you did the one thing I asked for you to do since you're getting free help, which is to drop a follow on the Twitch channel, which is free. Maybe I just need to move the I just need to move the Rodecaster Pro 2 over here. As much as I dislike that thing for certain reasons, it is a solid interface. Zelmov, thank you for the lurk. I appreciate it. Titan Go, if you scroll up, do you see this emote right here? If you follow the channel, you get that emote for free. I need you to drop that in chat. That just shows me that you did follow the channel. I guess I could just look at that too, see if you're following or not, but that means I don't have to go and do that. I hope that people don't feel that's too much to ask for me putting in, you know, sometimes up to an hour per person trying to help out one-on-one, that they do something for free, like subscribing on YouTube or following on Twitch. But I don't ask for subscriptions, not even Prime subs. If you want to do that, you can, but I don't ask for that. That to me is just ick. Fine for others, not really fine for me. And I don't ask for donos or bits or any of that stuff. Just the free stuff. Oh, they probably didn't hear any of this because they're in an ad. Oh boy. Just saw that. Cool. Okay, Titan Go, can you hear again? You were in an ad, right? Also, during the ad is probably when I said, Zelmom, thank you for the lurk. And now I'll say Observer of Thoughts, thank you for the lurk. There you go. At Braytorn, I'm on the list. You don't have to do the at Braythorn thing. It won't highlight my name if it's misspelled for one thing, but also it's just that's what the emote's for. But you're good. Thank you. Now, go here and just highlight you right there. Now, if you're on the list and you're looking to be highlighted in purple, highlight, which means that you're getting help during this stream, you do need to use the emote in chat on Twitch if you're on the list, or just say at Braythorn, I'm on the list in YouTube chat if that's where you are. But yeah, Adam, I'm well aware that this like $50 microphone isn't going to sound as good as like my $300 microphone, and you going USB into the PC isn't going to sound as good as using like a $800 or $900 XLR interface. I am prepared for that. However, or I guess using this XLR interface here, it's just using this one means getting a delay on my in-ear monitoring of my voice, and that is enough to drive me out of my mind. So I'll deal with a little loss of quality in audio just to get not lose my what little bit of sanity I have left. Hey gang, how is everybody? What's up, Sailor? How's it going? I'm good. Don't monitor your audio. You have us for that. Well, I'm hearing something different from what you're hearing. You're hearing with a little bit of compression, with some noise filtration, and with noise removal, rather. And I'm not hearing that because that's on the stream side of things. I guess maybe I can bring this down a little bit more. Check, check, check. Microphone check. Let's bring that down to -12. That should be fine right there. Let's see. Now, I mean, just to be clear, if I listen back to the stream and all of my audio sounds like this, yeah, I'll deal next stream. I'll deal with a little bit of delay in my monitoring. Okay, I will deal with that if that's the case. But that's actually just an effect and not what the actual stream sounds like. I'm sure I'd be hearing all about it if that was the case. Okay, so currently, the only person I'm helping out is Titan Go. Now, I hope I'm saying that right. Like, is it Titan Go or Titango? Please let me know if that's the case, and I will correct myself. Following is working. Ah, damn it, the thing's doing it again. Hold on a second. Okay, I just need... Okay, good. Perfect. There you go. Tongo, gotcha. I will correct myself then. Thanks for letting me know. Appreciate that. Okay, now I have a few questions for you. I know you just answered a bunch of questions. I understand that. But this is just to clarify a few of the things that you noted here. Like for one thing, what is the actual maximum amount for your budget? Like not a range like I asked for in the form, but the actual number. Are you looking at like 2250 or 2400 or exactly 2500? What's the actual max budget for your PC? The maximum you can spend before taxes and shipping, before your monitor, keyboard, mouse, all that stuff. What's that maximum number? And let's see, gaming, racing sim, flight sim. So I'll just gaming. Okay. Don't know about the resolution. I guess we'll talk about that a bit. Best Buy, since I could do 12 months free. Oh. Not my first choice. Or my second or third or fourth or fifth or sixth or seventh or eighth or ninth or 10th. Not a choice I usually make. We'll put it that way. But sure. Also, I have to like go into Best Buy and change like my info so I don't dox myself. Just came back from ad. It ran ads before that. Okay, we'll start again. How did you get another ad? It didn't tell me it was running an ad. If you do step away or something, that's fine. But okay. Okay, so what is the actual maximum budget for your PC? The actual maximum amount of money dollars. Not a range like this 2,000, 2,500, but let me know if you're at like 2,300 bucks, 2,450, whatever the actual number is. And that is before taxes and shipping and your peripherals and stuff. So what is that number? And since you're just gaming, you could totally go 1440p or maybe even 4K with, well, I don't know what Best Buy's deals are right now, so it's hard to say. But you can at least go 1440p for your resolution without a problem. I got a good deal at Best Buy on thermal paste Lamau. Congrats. Okay, actually 2,500. Perfect. Okay. Okay, let me just scope out Best Buy and see what info it's trying to give y'all. Oh, they have Thermaltake PCs. That's nice. All right, just taking a look here. You want it in black. I was looking at what are these SKUs, I guess? Okay. $32 gigs. Okay. Very helpful. Thank you. Yeah, is this going to tell me what RAM is? I know what RAM is. What other than the capacity, what are the specs? Hate Best Buy. Ah, it's so bad. Total storage capacity, 2,000 gigabytes. It could be a 2 terabyte mechanical hard drive for all we know. No, it says storage type SSD. All right. 2.5 inch SATA SSD then. 5070 Ti. I mean, look. Core Ultra 7 Series 2. Oh, 265 KF. That's probably what the Series 2 means, that it's a KF. I mean, you're just gaming on it, so that's fine. So if you're going just gaming, the general answer these days is to go with AMD. Only AMD makes GPUs that can game at all. No, it's not true. And as a matter of fact, when you're gaming at a higher resolution like 1440p, the CPU matters a lot less. Because it's not having to do as much work as if you're gaming at 1080p. Dropping down to -12 definitely helped. Glad to hear it. Yeah, if this thing is clipping, that's not going to sound good. Okay. Now the thing though is, let me see what you answered here. There are other reasons to look at one CPU or the other. And when the question was, do you plan on upgrading your CPU over time? You said yes. Well, LGA 1851, or the socket that Intel Core Ultra CPUs use, is pretty much only going to be good for this generation of CPUs and the next one. Intel's been doing that since days untold. It's forever. Okay, many moons. Whereas AMD, they might have just one more generation. It's hard to say. I doubt it though, because 5000 series on AM4 wasn't supposed to exist. It was supposed to be AM5. But they kept on. They're still supporting AM4 in one way or another. 5 years after it came out. So after 5 years after they were supposed to stop supporting it. It came out way before that. So what is that, like 8 years of support for AM4? What year did it come out? 9 years? I don't know, man. I don't know. It's been a while. Longer than that. Anyway. And the other one's AMD. All right. Well, I'll take a look at it. Also, this case, I talked to the pre-built guy at CES about this. This is just straight up glass. There's a little slot in the side to let in air, but when you put fans behind glass, it's generally not great, but there is some airflow. A little bit of airflow. Cool looking case, I get it. But Skytech, okay, 9800X 3D, 9070 XT. Yeah, this is a better option. Interesting with the little wood strip there. I will say the ASUS system looks a lot cleaner, but this one's going to have better airflow. Now, why did I click specifications? But Best Buy doesn't understand what that means. They don't know what that word means. They know it's a word. They've gotten that far. But specifications denote specificity. Being specific about stuff. Oh, 32 gigabytes of RAM. It says that here. Bro, why is there a thing to click on? This is just information that AMD provided. Doesn't help a lot. 2 terabyte drive. Cool. There we go. System memory speed is 6,000 megatransfers per second. 9070 XT is it's a rad GPU, okay? It's a really good GPU. Ethernet card is 10100 1000. It's a 1 gig port. What motherboard is this? Graphics, connectivity. Does it say anything about the motherboard? I'm really asking for too much from this website. $850-watt power supply. It's enough for the 9070 XT, unless it's the Red Devil one. They straight up said that it needs 900 watts. Also, Okay. AMD Radeon with DLSS 3. What? Best Buy. What you talking about, Best Buy? What do you mean with this right here? What does that mean? An AMD GPU that features DLSS 3. First off, they're on 4 now. Y'all know that, right? Secondly, that's the other guy. It's not the team red. That's the team green. That's hilarious. That's very funny. Okay, well, we're not going to get much info here. This is the better system out of the two. The main reason, though, I'll say that it's the best system out of the two is going to be because of the upgradability you get with Socket AM5. Okay? Socket AM5, you're getting more longevity out of that socket. I guarantee it. AMD has only messed that up once. And that was with 2nd gen Threadripper. Wait, they both have MATX? Hang on. Are MATX in there? So, okay. I'm not showing it. There you go. It's MATX. There you go. So, let me tell y'all why I prefer that you buy directly from an SI instead of a retailer. And to be clear, to Tongo, to be clear, if you need to buy from Best Buy, I'm not going to judge that. I'm just explaining. So you're not like, why does he hate Best Buy? Like, I don't hate Best Buy, okay? It's just, here is an actual fact. Best Buy doesn't work for, they don't operate for free. In fact, they have a lot more overhead than a company like Skytech does. Or, yeah, they have a lot more overhead. They have all these stores to run with bills to pay, employees to pay, all that stuff. Yeah. So when you're a PC company and you want to sell through Best Buy, they get a big fat cut out of the profit margin of that PC. I'm talking about a fat cut out of that, meaning that if system integrators want to make any money off of those computers, and if you're not going to make money off them, why would you put all the work into not only building them, but supporting them after the fact? You need to make back some of that margin somewhere, and it is usually in the hardware that does not include the CPU and GPU. And this is not unique to Skytech. iBuyPower, CyberPower PC, any company that sells through Best Buy that also sells on their own from their own website, the PCs are not going to be different between the two. Not going to be the same. They're not going to be the same between the two. You'll get a different PC buying the same-ish model. It is not the same model on Skytech's website, but you'll get a different machine from them because they don't have to make up a bunch of lost profit margin just to sell in a physical store like they do with. So that's one of the things that you're facing when you're buying from directly from Best Buy, or when you're buying from Amazon, actually, or when you're buying from Newegg. They keep their doors open, pay their bills, and pay their employees and themselves by basically getting a cut of everything they sell. That's commerce. But the cool thing about the SI industry is that it's very easy for you to go directly to the company that's producing the good that you are buying, and thus skipping the middleman that just gets money for being the middleman. So that's one of the main reasons I recommend going directly to the first-party seller rather than the third-party retailer. But if that's not an option, that's okay, as long as you're aware of the of that compromise. You're just looking at gaming on this thing. One of the main drawbacks of going with an MATX motherboard and a full ATX case is that you lose some of those expansion slots for PCIe. So that if you were streaming on it, you want to put extra I/O or an internal capture card, cool. You can do that. You can add that kind of stuff. But with an MATX motherboard, you lose a lot of that. You lose options for adding storage in most cases, where you might have one or maybe two extra M.2 sockets on there. Probably not, but maybe you do. Which is good though. It comes with a 2 terabyte drive right off the bat, so you're mostly going to be fine for a while with that. I just wanted to make sure that you were aware of that going in. Okay. The other downside to an MATX board is that it doesn't look that great. You have this empty gap there where there's going to be dangling cables from where the cable management is to the motherboard. It's just an aesthetic thing at that point. But you don't need to worry about the other thing where you can't put in capture cards or adding cards or whatever, because you're mostly just gaming on this thing. So shouldn't be a huge issue. Testing a new mic? No, just tired of delayed monitoring, humanity. But what's up? Araxinus, what's going on? Live on a Saturday night? Yes. I was supposed to be testing this guy right here, but I could not make it work. So not the GPU, the capture card. So we're just doing PC matchmaking, which was delayed from Thursday because this testing stream was supposed to be Wednesday night. It got moved to Thursday night, then got moved to Friday night, and then to tonight. And I still couldn't get the capture working. This is why I go aerodynamic with the hairstyle, because otherwise I'd have torn it out a long time ago from stuff like this. So we can get something like this Skytech for around the same... What, you mean like at Skytech? Okay, let's take a look at Skytech and see what's what. Because this isn't even your max budget. Your max budget, you said, was $2,500, and this is $22. You're $250 under max budget. Let's just see what we can do at Skytech. That'll be around $250 or at your maximum budget. Let's see what we can do. Well, that's not in black. That's in white. There's a flash sale on this one, 9800 X3D and the 9070 XT. So similar specs, but for $22.50. Here's the thing. I also have a coupon code for Skytech. I don't have one for Best Buy. What about in black? 7800 X3D? 5070 Ti, though. But that's what the other one had. Let's see. It's just going up. That's, like I'm telling y'all, that is a sick case. I love that case. Yes, at Skytech, I really like the case. I don't see that case here. That might be one that's exclusive to their Best Buy system. Unless it's available in their builder, which we could try custom building a PC for you, but we would have to see. Let's give it a shot. Let's see if it's in the builder. Oh, that's what you call that hairstyle. It's good to be a man, I guess. I don't know. For most people building a PC, would you recommend water-cooled or just an air cooler? OMJCYT, I'd need to know the specs you're talking about. If you can go with... Because air coolers get to be the price of, like, AIOs once you get to higher-end CPUs. Black King 95, I like. Okay. Let me just take a look here really quick. I love the King 95. It's one of my favorite cases. Oh, there they go. There's a case you liked right there. You also have a curved one, but here. I'm going to be real. You're just gaming. And you're going to be at 1440p or higher because of the driving sim, the racing sim / flight sim. I don't think you need any X3D chip. That's wasted money if you're not gaming at very high refresh rates at 1080p. But let's see if what we can do about the GPU. Try and match it up. And if you prefer the King 95, I can switch to it. There's a 9070 XT. There we go. Okay. Now, one main difference with this is you're going to get a full ATX motherboard, which is nice. It's going to look better, and you do have expansion options down the line. Very true. If high-end go CPU, go AIO. What's up, Electrothermal? How's it going? If I remember correctly, Microsoft Flight Sim really likes the X3D CPU chips. Well, that's a good question, actually. Yo, what's up, Binary Theory? What's up? Game Capture 4K Pro? What do you mean? Where are you seeing that? What are you talking about? Love RGB. Well, I can go King 95 Pro if that's what you want. That's not a problem. But yeah, Titan Go. Sorry, Tatango. My bad. What type of sims are you going to be playing? Said racing sim / flight sim. Don't worry, I'm going to mess with this a little bit, try and get the price down. Now, it states you don't need Wi-Fi, right? Although that's also Bluetooth, so I'll still put it in there. Racing sim. Okay. Oh, really? Still defaulting to 5200. Oh, let's change this to the King 95 Pro. We're going to see if this is a better deal. A better deal than... Okay, they don't have the black King 95 Pro. Only the dark and silver, which is nice. So they have the Gear Seekers Special Edition of this case, which looks like this. Some silver, but dark tinted glass. It's really, really cool. If you prefer the black King 95, it's not on this list. There are a couple other cases that are a good option too, like the XR in black, Montec XR in black, which is really nice, but yeah. No Wi-Fi, just Ethernet. Okay. The thing about the Wi-Fi card that you get though, or the Wi-Fi you get on the motherboard, is that it also includes Bluetooth. I remember Jeff. I'm calling out Jeff right now. I don't think he's here. I remember Jeff telling me like a year and a half ago, yeah, we're completely doing away with carrying 512 gig drives. Yeah. What's that? What's that right there? And you said it is your default. Not cool, bud. Plus 100, plus 130. I think that's going to be comparable right there. Wood curve I also like. Hawaii's Yeti, what's going on, dude? How's it going? Look at you over in the YouTube chat. Glad to see you, man. I thought you'd be a diehard Twitch viewer. Yeah, but it was good seeing you at NAB, bud. Hope you're doing well. Which SI do you prefer, Digital Storm or Origin PC, or are they overrated? They're both, well, okay. Digital Storm, massively overrated. They have some very critical issues that they need to address before I'll ever recommend them. Origin PC got better when they were bought out by Corsair, but the downside is they can only use Corsair fans and cases and stuff like that now, which you pay the Corsair tax on everything. I would go, there are a lot of smaller boutique builders that I would prefer over either of those companies. Oh, they got the Gen 5 MSI drive. Anyway, so this comes out to like $2662.89 before my discount. And that's before I've even adjusted the RAM and the power supply. Power supply is okay with the Seasonic one here. I'm going to look at what else they have. Good seeing you got stoked. I got a free V-mount battery from Newer. Nice. Very nice. I imagine it's hard to get batteries out there sometimes. You know, if I'd seen you again, I would have tried to slip you more stuff, I guess. Not that I had any authority over that. I really didn't. They'd have been like, fine. Want to hear thoughts on upgrading from the 4090 to the 5090? Do not do it. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. You do not need to, you don't, the upgrade is not worth it, man. It's not. It's not. The 5090 is way overpriced. Plus, the power draw for the certification of the cable is a little sketchy because it's 575 watts on a 600 watt rated cable. I don't like it. I don't like it. You're already on a 4090. You're better than most. You're better off than most. So yeah, don't even. It's so hard they don't ship batteries here. I'm glad that you got one then. That's good, man. Yeah, you're probably okay. To be fair, Tongo, you're probably better off with the. Oh yeah, that's right. We're gonna look at this. To the wood curve one. That was here. I just like the King 95 because it gives you a little bit extra RGB. Okay, so. Yeah, we're over budget with this, but if you go with the Black King 95 system here. 9800 X3D, and no, that's 5070. Where's the one with the 5070 Ti right here? For $22.99. 5070 Ti and the 9070 XT, very comparable. 5070 Ti having some better performance in ray tracing. So yeah, I would say this one here is going to save you a bunch of money, basically. And that 7800 X3D is going to be better off for some games. Once you're at 1440p or higher resolution, you really don't need to put extra money into an X3D chip, unless you know you're playing something that really needs good CPU performance. But I would say this is your best option right here. So we're looking at 1 terabyte of Gen 4 storage, so that is a downgrade. Okay. But adding storage is one of the easiest upgrades you can do, and this motherboard has at least 2 extra M.2 sockets on it, so you can add a lot more storage with that. 32 gigs DDR5 6000, good. 360 millimeter AIO, a full-on B650 motherboard, so no MATX, and an 850 watt 80 plus gold ATX 3.0 power supply. So with native 12VH PWR, I would say this right here. What day is it? I'm lost. Braxton, I hope that you don't gauge what day of the week it is based on my streams, because you only know what day it is 3 times out of the week. Hi, I'm in M.2 storage. Hi, Rarutu. Is that what the Rarutu M stands for? The guy who built my new PC rig left me a 4090 because 5090s were hard to get, so he'd swap out a 5090 if he could get one. But I'm debating now I should spend an extra $900 to swap it out. No. I mean, if you get an extra 10% performance out of that, is that I can't tell you whether that's of value to you or not. Also, that percentage changes from game to game. So you got to decide for yourself, like, yeah, it's worth investing in that, or nah, let me get more storage for local recordings of my streams, or like, let me get you know, some new lighting for my home setup, or let me get this, or let me get that, a new lens for my camera, all that kind of stuff. Sonic 1000 says, just repasted my 3080 Ti FE, and I don't see me upgrading for 2 more years. Fine, yeah, if it still works for you. No one can tell you need to upgrade but you. And the way you know that is not just because you want to, but that your stuff ain't running as well as it used to. Games are getting harder to run, less optimized, all that kind of stuff. Broga, thank you for the tier 1 sub. I appreciate it. What's going on? Welcome. Remember this, chat. Remember this. And Yeti, this is especially for you here, all right? Listen up. The only benchmark that matters is enjoyment for gamers, okay? If you stop enjoying yourself when gaming, then your GPU is no longer enough for you. Spend some money, sure. But if you're still enjoying yourself, keep your money. Do not let the industry tell you, hey, you need to, look, you're not a real gamer unless you bleh. Are you really a real streamer unless you have a huh? Nah. The only benchmark that matters is enjoyment, and if you're enjoying yourself, you don't need to look at benchmarks and be like, oh, but it's not at the top of the list. Who cares? That is twice the price of what you have. So, like, you good. Dude, Batman, what's going on? Hey, want to let you know I did end up buying that last Wish. Cheers again. Congratulations. Delupa Batman, that was a sick system. You know what? You need to share some pictures of that in the Rigs channel of the Discord once you get it, because that thing is going to look like nothing else. That is such a cool looking PC. A whole week is set by your streams. If you change up, I might miss my shower day. Well, you might be 3 days late. Sorry, Braxton. Araxinus, I have a 4090. I run everything on high settings, and I am very happy with it. Very nice. But yeah, I'm going to say this for you, Tatango, right here. This is what you want. I love the King 95. It is one of the best cases out there, and not just for looks, but for building in it. It's fantastic. I love it. So, yeah. Thought I smelled something. Broga. Don't be mean to... Y'all both have similar names ending in 4-digit numbers. Y'all can't be mean to each other. That's a rule. Can you send me a link for both of them, even for the one that went over budget, just in case? All right. Let me double check this. Did I change the RAM? Yes. Power supply, they're both 850, so sure. This does have 2 terabytes of Gen 4 storage. So that does beat it in that regard. But yeah, let me get the link for it here real quick. Oh, here, let me give you this one. Okay, that is one system right there. I'm going to shorten this for you right here. Here's the custom system, which they will bring the price down with my coupon code, which is SWARM, Swarm, right there. That will bring that price down closer to budget, and shipping is free. And on the custom system, it takes a little longer to get it, but you can request that they do the build live on stream, so you can be there for it and chat with the builder. It's very cool. Juan's awesome too. It's a great builder. So there's that. Let me go ahead and link that other one here too. Let's get rid of this Best Buy one. No thanks. Now, also, I am sorry for pulling you away from your first instinct when it came to like which one to use, because like I get it. You already have an account there. You don't want to add to that, but still, at least with this, you get a discount. Whether you go with the pre-configured one or whether you go with the custom system that I configured for you, you're going to get a solid discount with code SWARM, and that discount also supports what I do. Because whenever I think about how I want to get how I get support from you guys, I prefer that it be through you saving money rather than spending money. So these coupon codes make a difference, and I have them at a lot of different SIs. So you know I'm not biased towards any one or the other. All right, I hope you have a good evening too, and thank you. I'm glad we're able to help. Definitely, this build is great from the 3090 and Ryzen 5950X I had before. Now it's 9800X3D or something, and a 4090. Yeah, and honestly, I do like the 9800X3D for streaming until you get like super complex. But like other than that, it like they really made improvements over the 7000 series one. I do like it a lot. And like when I did a Black Friday thing with Skytech last year. And there were two levels of system. The higher end one came with the 9800X3D because I like the fact that they made it to where you can overclock it now. It's better with frequencies. It's better for productivity than the previous generation by a lot. So, and then of course, top level gaming performance. If you're gaming a lot at 1080p, there's nothing that comes close. So, well, other than other X3D chips, of course. I enjoy high-end graphics and high fashion. High graphics and high fat. Yeah, that tracks. Yeti. Oh, Colt G. I see you there. Looking to bite the bullet and switch from console. Very interested in the build aspect. I'm intimidated by picking out individual parts. Got any suggestions for a build kit in 2025? Colt G, the way it works. Whether you're looking for a pre-build or a parts list for a DIY build, since you're on the YouTube side of things, you just got to go to the description and click the first link there and fill out that form. My best advice is to ask yourself those questions. Second best advice is to submit those answers in that form so that I can help you. But the main thing you got to do is know what you can do, because you didn't give me a budget. You didn't tell me what you were going to use it for or anything like that. And without that, any recommendation I gave you would be a self-interested recommendation. That's going to be like an affiliate code thing or like whatever I like. No, it has to be right for you, so that's what the form exists for. And that's how you get onto this form right here, this spreadsheet right here, with the answers to those questions. I love discounts. I mean, yeah. Well, thanks for the advice. I just got home, got to get kids situated. Catch you next time, bro. Stay blessed. You got it, Yeti. I'll be here. She was with Batman. I'm thinking about upgrading the RAM. Is it better to get 2 more sticks of 16 gig or dual channel? If you're going to upgrade the RAM, you might have just wanted to ask that they do it for you. So it would be under warranty. I imagine upgrading your RAM is a really quick, simple upgrade. They probably would have done that for you. But I don't recommend 4 sticks of DDR4. Even in 2025, the meta is still to go, or the best practice you can say is to go with 2 sticks at whatever capacity you need. And that can go up to 96 gigs of RAM. So 2 sticks of 32 gigs is going to be better. V4V. Wow, I didn't know that. It's ironic that Origin sold out when it was founded by ex-Alienware people who left after Dell acquired Alienware. They all bowed to the same paper god in the end. Well, V4V, I got one more bit of lore to add to that. One of the founders of Origin PC, who was part of Alienware, one of the OGs, left Origin to start CLX. And that has not sold to anybody. But George is a great dude. I've tried to work with CLX on multiple things, and every time it was a failure to launch on my part. Except that I did put up one interview with him. That was awesome. But that was it. So has nobody else filled out the form yet? Because if that's the case, then we're just chilling. Big chilling. And that's fine. I love this microphone so much, and I miss using it. It sounds better than this one, I'm sure. But so there was someone I met at NAB, and it's one of the two people I really wanted to meet there. The one I didn't get to meet was Gerald Undone. Did not get to meet Gerald, and that was very unfortunate. But the one I did get to meet was Tom Buck. Tom Buck is one of my favorite content creators when it comes to figuring out audio and cameras and lighting and fun stuff for setups and gear and stuff like that. He's a little bit nerdy about it, but not a lot. He's very approachable. Very approachable. He's the kind of guy where you can tell if you wanted him to rattle off a bunch of like really uber nerd stuff, he could, but he chooses to remain very approachable and make easy to digest content that can be both entertaining and instructive. Gerald Undone, very entertaining dude, low-key, hilarious guy, but boy does he get technical. I mean, in the weeds with the technical stuff. Now, I like that, but when I first started watching him as, you know, being relatively new to being a camera nerd, it was a little intimidating for me. And I realized, yo, this is what it's like for people who are new to PCs to watch Gamers Nexus. But he's not that much like Steve in terms of like, he's a more casual about it for sure. But also he has very good standards in his content, and he will refuse things. Like he will refuse to have Sony pay him to go to some big event, and this is a thing that happened, so that he talks nice about their cameras if they don't deserve it, they still get nice things said about them because they pay for you to fly out there and give you nice stuff and all that. And he was like, no, I'm not going to go to that because I don't like the way those feel. And he's just a great guy. I think I have that 5 mic. Sounds pretty good. Thank you. Well, I got to check out CLX PC then. Faith in Humanity Restored. Yeah, George is cool. George is a really cool dude, and he will tell you, he will tell it to you like it is. And he's an old dog in the SI game, for sure. You have a code for Falcon Northwest? I'm just curious. Bone Shock, unfortunately, Falcon Northwest does not do affiliate discount codes or discount codes in any way. That's just not a practice that they ever implemented. And most of their clientele don't care. They're just like, I know what I'm getting. I know how much it costs. That's, you know. And it also keeps it to where, I mean, I try to stay unbiased with things. Y'all have heard me, even when Skytech is sending me like a $5,000 PC that I get to keep and make my new main PC. That's a thing that happened with one of the PCs I sent. I still called them out for leaving plastic. There was a piece of plastic in the RAM, and I was like, how did you even get this in here? And maybe, you know, things that they needed to improve, which they did improve, which is why I call companies out for that. And to them, the investment in sending me a PC that I get to keep or whatever is in getting basically QC and recommendations from me, a third party. That's how Jeff has said it. He's like, we want you to be honest. If you're not, then it's like, why would we send you stuff? And I'm like, you know, that's cool that you're saying that, but most companies aren't necessarily looking for that honesty. They want marketing. So they want. Anyway, I'm rambling now. Someone fill out the form. Hurry up. Monster Pete, what's going on? Hey, Bray, if I fill out a form... Hey, there you go. How long do I have until I buy it? Or when I get paid for... Wait, hold on. When I get paid for custom? What do you mean? Okay, Monster Pete, if you're not, if you're basically more than a month out from buying your PC, like, to be clear, you're not buying it from me, just so you know that. I help you. I basically bird dog it for you. I'm like, there, that one, that's right for you. Now, secondly, if you're more than a month away from buying your PC, it's too early to fill out the form, and you should wait until it's closer, because any recommendation I give you, pricing and availability is going to change in a week. Or 2 weeks, or whatever. You know, generally a month is already too long, but that's the maximum time for, you know, up until your purchase that I want to go. I just don't want it to be like, you know, I do all the work of getting you all set up with a thing, and then, 6 weeks go by and it's like, hey, this thing isn't even here anymore. This is obsolete and I can't do it. Okay. Well, I guess we got to do it all over again. So yeah, it has to be within a month. I mean, if it's before May 19th, then yeah, you're within a month. You taking Kelsey's old job? Nope. But whenever I'm making anything like recommendations of, hey, here's why I don't like this, or here's why I recommend that, the person who's going to take that into consideration is going to be Kelsey and the team. They basically do the R&D. So yeah, one of my favorite things to do, because I've been at SkyTech a couple times, is to chat that team up and chat with Kelsey and all them. They know their stuff. They really do. Kelsey's just cool as hell, though, in general. Falcon Northwest is like buying a Bugatti. Well, it's more accessible than that, Araxness. I will say that. Much more accessible. What's up, everybody? What did I miss? What's up, Triple B? How's it going? Well, I mean, it's not a normal day for me to stream, so don't feel bad that you're just getting here. But yeah, I was going to be reviewing this thing or testing it, but that capture's not working. So my other option, chat, and let me know what y'all think. My other option is to swap out the GPU that's in the King 95 system and test it while I'm also streaming on it. Because there's going to be people who want to get a GPU where they can game and stream at the same time, and they might want to know, well, all right, you're streaming and gaming. What's the FPS like? So that's the other option, and I was considering that. What's going on, Bray? I mean, I would not mind either taking Kelsey's job or working with her. I would rather you didn't take Kelsey's job. There's a team for R&D over there. Yeah. And IT, it's IT/R&D. That's that department. Yeah, Monster Pete, if you're looking for May, then you should be fine if you want to fill out the form. V for V, the thing about DLX is that George is very proud of their configurator, and it's very much not my favorite configurator out there. It is like it's a little overstimulating. It's a little too much. It needs, in my opinion, some simplification. Big time. I mean, for all the use cases, might as well do that as long as you have the normal PCIe cables for your PSU. I do. Because I was testing multiple, remember where I was testing the 4070 Ti Super and the 3070 Ti and the 5070 Ti in that one stream? I've got the PCIe cables just tucked away right behind the bottom fans, ready to go. You know that's a horrible idea. Don't stream from the system you're testing. Adam, why? Can you tell me why? Why is that a horrible idea? I'm very interested in hearing what you have to say about that. I take it you've never considered real-world results rather than just dry benchmarks? What do you think is more applicable to the actual average user who might be streaming on their system? Some charts with bars on it, or seeing how games actually perform while streaming is happening? What do you think is more applicable to real people? I'm curious. This is a good one, I'm sure. Like this encoding, you know about NVENC, right? Like, you know what NVENC is? It's a dedicated hardware encoder. The whole point of NVENC is to not stress your GPU in order to encode your stream. So I'm not sure where you're getting the horrible idea thing. If you want dry benchmarks, there are much better hardware testing channels than mine out there. When I test these things live on stream, I'm not even like, y'all have seen me sometimes gathering data for maybe using in charts, but I don't release those. Because there's already better charts out there if charts are what get you going. I just like to be like, look at how this performs. This is performing. Look at the performance. Performance is GPU go burr. I would say, why not? NVIDIA cards are good for streaming, and a real-world stress test would show a different. Yeah, it might affect some games more than others. It's going to be better, I guess, if I had not tests like numbers for when it's not streaming. But if I can't get capture going for one reason or another, because like literally, guys, I can't just go out and keep buying $250 capture cards until something sticks. I cannot afford that. Want real world, not charts. Okay, in the real world, people stream and game at the same time. This is a thing that happens. So why not show those results? Who out there, what content creator out there is showing that? I'll wait. Streaming and gaming is easy now. A friend of mine has a 4090, uses 3x 4K LG TVs and 120 hertz, all three. Star Fox, that doesn't matter unless they're all running the game, but go on. Or I guess I'll keep reading. While playing 2 instances of WoW, okay. 50 plus browser tabs open, playing Netflix all at 4K while in a Zoom meeting. I think you're exaggerating a little bit, but I get your point. I mean, I can send you my 33-cent capture card I got from EVGA. Okay, no, I'm fine. It's okay. I need an HDMI 2.1 capture card. And I'm probably going to need an internal one. Adam, the only reason I'm asking you these questions is because I don't like to write off an idea immediately, either until I've tried it or carefully considered it. And it sounds like you didn't consider what I was talking about there. $5070 SFF and the Deep Cool CH160 sounds like a good system, Alucard. I like that. As long as you have enough RAM, that should be fine. I mean, yeah. I don't think RAM was actually mentioned in that, but yeah. But what's up, Star Fox? How's it going? But yeah, my thing is this. It's like, when I think about testing, I like to think about the kind of testing people haven't been doing. And I have not seen any YouTube video where someone's like, all right, I'm going to stream and game at the same time and see how this thing actually holds up. I'm a Sherman Tank. Hello, Sherman Tank. Can I call you Sherman? Did you run Ethernet through your walls attic? Is it tough? Is putting your chute through the ceiling a genuine concern? I've never been up there. I've actually, so I've done that. I did that for a living for years. So my judgment of whether or not it's tough probably is skewed, but I have put my leg through someone's ceiling before. That was fun. I almost fell all the way through. But yeah, I did hurt myself. Seems you're probably right. Worth a try. Thank you for considering that. I appreciate that. There are some people who will like stick to their guns on stuff for no reason other than to do it. I appreciate you being like, you know what? Yeah, that's a good way to be, Adam. But the thing is, Sherman Tank, there are some people who will basically take plywood and make paths over the beams of their attics, just so that that's not a concern. And those you can usually lift up and move, and as long as they're stable on there, you don't necessarily have to worry about that. It's just that you have to drill through the top caps of the walls and stuff. There's a word for that. I forgot what it is. But you have to drill through that. You have to find the gaps. You have to worry about main power, stuff like that. I've run many an Ethernet cable. As long as you have the tools to do it, and you're not in Texas where the attics can get like 165 degrees Fahrenheit on an average summer day, it's not that hard. It's just, there's effort and it's time consuming. But in my opinion, worth it. I'm super keen to start messing with the small form factor builds. I got all the compatibility nailed in our custom builder to do it. Got to get to researching cases. There's a lot of good cases out there. There's almost been a renaissance in small form factor over the last few years. It seems to have died down a little bit, but people are interested in scaling down size of their PCs. I had a guy replacing my roof fall through the kitchen ceiling and land on the kitchen table once. Lol, he was more embarrassed than hurt, thank God. Yeah, I mean, the table helps. It probably reduced the fall distance by about 60%, which about 40%, which is nice. But yeah, that can be painful, especially if you have, like, I don't know, a candelabra on there or something. Still researching out the cases are starting to be ones to consider for various builders and flippers. Oh yeah. Cases, though, are probably going to get hit real hard with tariffs. Even if the exceptions go through, they're probably not going to be considered for exceptions. Equations, what's going on? Welcome. So is nobody filling out the form right now? Is there nobody waiting for help on the form? Because other than that, I mean, like I said, we're just big chilling until someone needs some help. Yeah. What kind of molding does your house have? There's normally room between the baseboards and the wall all the way around. Oh, I imagine you're asking Sherman Tank that. The main thing to me is, like, depending on the age of your home, attics can be like attics in like the 80s were tiny things with a lot of homes. 90s kind of the same, but in the 2000s and on, newer builds started to have larger attics, which was very welcome. At least in this area. I had about 2 height Y70s I got earlier than I wanted to because of them. The $80 increase for the Touch Infinite hurt. Ugh. In California. You have basements in California? I don't know. It's another coastal area, so. Or coastal state, I would say, but. What do you use to control the RGB on PCs you build? I'm using Signal RGB. Signal RGB is what I use if I have a choice, which I usually do. There are some times, though, where it won't catch the RAM. So then you get just the RAM one, but don't ever install the Patriot RGB software. That has caused problems with PCs in the past. They probably fixed it by now, but once bitten, twice shy, I guess. All right, heads up for Twitch viewers, if you're not subscribed, I'm going to go ahead and run a 60-second ad because it's going to run it automatically either way. And this way I have some control over it. It'll stop pre-roll ads from happening for like 30 minutes or so, just so that people who are coming into the stream that are new don't get hit with 7 ads or whatever. Instead, you're going to watch a 60-second one, unless you have Twitch Nitro or whatever, Turbo or whatever the hell it's called, or if you're subscribed to the channel. If you did subscribe during this stream, which is only, I think, a couple people, but just refresh the stream to make sure it knows that. And there you go. Running ad 3, 2, 1. See y'all in 60 seconds. I guess we're just chilling until that ends. But it is nice that it turns off pre-rolls when I run it manually. Do we prefer the slow and... This is really smooth. I like the RGB on here. Do we prefer the rainbow, the slow one, or do we prefer just straight up purple? What do you think? What do y'all think? Big spiders hang out in attics. I mean, some do. Also small spiders, and sometimes those can be more of a problem. But the thing about spiders is they'll generally try to leave you alone. Like, they make an effort. I have arachnophobia, and having had to work in attics for, like, years, that was rough. Kelly Lopez, welcome to the stream. I'm looking for a pre-built around $2,000, preferably white. Any recommendations? I got my girlfriend a PC with NZXT, and we love it. NZXT sort of fell out of favor with me with their rental program and how devious they were with that and how anti-consumer it was. Don't really recommend NZXT anymore because of that. They can build a good PC. I had little issues with one that I reviewed from them having loose screws in it, but that was the main issue. But really, Kelly, what you need to do is if you look in the description, this is what it looks like when you fill it out. But I have a form that you can fill out that will see. Right now, Monster Pete is in line to get help. As long as they sound off and let me know they're still here, they can get some help tonight. You fill out the form that's linked in the. It's the first thing linked in the YouTube description, and you'll get on the list, and I can help you out. Got a ton of GoPro footage today on the bike. We had a car bike meet that had over 2,000 people. That sounds crazy, Skeeter. Araxis, I will take that into consideration. Araxis said purple. I don't know if I already mentioned that, but there you go. Got our NZXT 2 years ago. Well before they started the rental program, so that's good. Okay. That's also, Kelly, when they were still building their PCs in-house. They now no longer build the PCs themselves. They have a third-party company do it. So when I did the review for them, which was not a paid review, they just sent it and I reviewed it. I gave them some feedback and they were like, all right, we're going to change that stuff. We're going to fix our QA and all that stuff. Now those changes have mean nothing because they're not building them anymore. So it's good that you got it when they were good because they were pretty good at building PCs. They did good stuff. But now, not going to be a recommendation for me. So you did all right. You did good. But you fill out that form, we'll find you another place to get a PC from, and it should be awesome. Because there are a lot of fish in the sea when it comes to system integrators. That's a tough one right there. Braithorn, what unrelated hobbies do you have? I've probably started and abandoned more hobbies than you may have ever considered in your lifetime. I've had a lot of hobbies, all the way from art to blacksmithing. I still do now and then some woodworking and leatherworking. I used to do amateur music production. I did that on and off for many, many, many years. Martial arts were a big thing for me in my early, from my childhood to early adulthood. Gaming, of course. Also tabletop, TTRPGs, and pen and paper RPGs. Electronics, working with small electronics. Customizing Nerf blasters. I mean, all kinds of stuff. Modding Nerf blast, all kinds of things. I've had a lot of hobbies. Monster Pete says, I'm here. Okay. Well, Monster Pete, I got some questions for you. So, what is your actual maximum budget, first off? Actual max budget, not this range here, but what is the actual maximum amount of money dollars you can spend on your PC before taxes and shipping? See how that goes. I need to get back into martial arts. Would be a good way to work out. It is generally, yeah. 1K. All right. So, fun thing. If you're looking to do the only thing, you didn't even list gaming here. You listed content creation / video editing and graphic design. This might be an unpopular opinion, but something more like along the lines of a used Mac is probably going to be your best option if that's all you're trying to do with your PC. If you're not trying to game, you just want to do content creation / video editing and graphic design, Mac is going to be your best bet. Probably not what you were looking for there. But that's just me being aware of the technology. Look at this. M4 Mac Mini starts at $599. And this thing is a content creation and graphic design monster. It just uses its CPU, its RAM, everything. It uses it differently than a Windows PC does. Light gaming? Well, then that's gonna rule that out for you. The problem is the $599 one is let's see, it is how much storage? It's like 256 gigs of storage. So going with the $999 one's probably going to be better for you. Does this have a list of specs? Let's see. Okay, it's all right there. 512 gigs of storage, 24 gigs of unified memory, 10 core CPU, 10 core GPU. It's all the same. But the extra memory is nice on this one. And what you'll do is eventually you'll add in some external storage because you have 3 Thunderbolt 4 ports. So, yeah. But if you're trying to do gaming, Mac ain't good for that. Mac is not very good for gaming. So, I don't know. Get the $599 Mac Mini and a Switch 2 when it comes out. Or get yourself something like a Steam Deck. Steam Deck. That actually you can get one for less than $400. So you have all that for less than $1,000. If you're doing light gaming, a Steam Deck is going to be awesome for that. I'm not a Mac guy. I've worked on them. In fact, I used to have a client that their law office exclusively used Macs, even for the server. And it was a pain, but I learned it just so I could help them out. It was many, many moons ago. That was a long time ago, and things have changed quite a bit. They used to be on Intel Silicon at the time. Now they're on their own silicon. And M4 Silicon is very, very impressive. Undeniably so. Where you get a lot more for the price in terms of specific use cases like yours. So it's definitely something to consider. Heck, you can even, I think, get the baseline one off of Amazon for like $4.99 refurbished. So I would do that and like a Steam Deck, and you're good to go with both light gaming. Because a Steam Deck, you can put that in a dock and have it go to your monitor. And bam, you have a mini gaming PC right there. So I'd do that combo right there. V for V, we're helping out Monster Pete, not Kelly Lopez right now. Just so you know, we're helping out Monster Pete. Now, it used to be you could build a solid PC for less than $1,000 very easily, but with the GPU shortages and scalping and all that stuff, it's just really, this market, it's really hard to build a budget PC. The budget PC is going extinct very quickly. That's okay, V for V. Just, you know what, to be thorough, go back here and we're going to drop that range down to less than $1,000 and see what pops up. It's not going to be a lot, and that's the nature of the market right now. $13,400F, of course, it's a F SKU, and a 3050. Oh hell, there's no way this is outperforming that Mac Mini in video editing. There's no way. There's just no way. Also, it's an F SKU, which means that you don't even get quick sync with this. Skyguard, what's up? Thank you for helping me be comfortable enough to buy a custom build for my Power. You're very welcome. I hope you used. I hope you got to use my code for that, because it gets you, if it's a custom system, that's 5% off. So not bad at all. But you're welcome. Making you comfortable with your purchasing decisions is something that's very important to me. Also, guys, I believe that the stream is still in 720p on Twitch, which sucks because I have access to streaming in 4K on Twitch. It's just I'm still on Meld because I was trying to fix other stuff. I wasn't even trying to stream on this machine anymore. But I am going to be switching to OBS to get away from Meld so I can choose my bitrate for Twitch and it won't be freaking out and putting it in 720p anymore. Yeah. Meld is cool if you're just getting into streaming, but the fact that you can't have different encode settings for different multi-stream stuff, it's a pretty major flaw. Okay, it's a massively obvious flaw, and I'm not sure how. Like, they recently added a thing where you can have a separate, like, canvas, a vertical canvas. Cool, that's cool and all, but like, actually, maybe that's the way to get it to do a different canvas for Twitch. That might be it. Maybe I got to do it that way. I don't know. I'd like to talk to the team at Meld and give my thoughts, but I mean, like, they've already got a lot of bigger content creators talking to them, so what do they care? Not to say that they don't. It's just like it would be another more to put on their plate that they don't need. That sounded like I was talking smack about them. That's not the goal. Yeah, stuff to go with budget PCs without sacrificing so much or needing to upgrade it so much more down the line, unless that is your thing. Yeah, but Monster Pete, it sounded like you were cool with that suggestion. Again, do that plus a Steam Deck for your PC gaming needs. You solid. Like, you're good with that. And that's what I'm going to put on the form here for you. Probably the first time I've had to make that recommendation. There we go. Yeah, we got Kelly Lopez there. All right. And oh, no need for a song and dance. I know you're there. I know you're here. You know what? Low key, that would be kind of cool to do a test as a setup. You know, the Mac Mini plus something like a Steam Deck would be pretty sick to have, like, at a desk setup with the dock and everything, and maybe a KVM to go between the two. Would be kind of cool. I'll be back in November. It'll be 2K. Sorry I wasted your time in the chat. Gonna buy. Okay. Hey, Monster Pete, I want to make sure you understand that I'm not being dismissive of your needs. It's me dismissing my own preference for PC to show you what the actual best case scenario is for you at that budget. Like, I want you to be able to do your creative tasks without your PC being an issue, because nothing will break the creative flow like your software running slowly. So understand, it's not a problem. Like, I'm happy making that suggestion. Stop right now, doing all the things happening once again like 2020, pretty much. I mean, in 2020, it was all GPU issues. Now it's going to be tariffs on every component in the system, unless, even with those exceptions, who knows? Who knows? Can I hook up two monitors? Yes. If I'm not mistaken, it has, let me see. Oh no, it has a single HDMI port, but because there's 3 Thunderbolt 4 ports, you should be able to hook up a monitor with, it's also these 2 USB-C ports. Some of these are going to have USB-C or Thunderbolt 4 display port, essentially. What helps a lot are Thunderbolt 4 docks that have multiple HDMI out. That's probably what I would go with to hook up multiple monitors. Because it's such a small form factor, they're limited in how much I/O they can put there, but you should be fine with that. Thank you, Bertram, for taking the time to let us hang out. Got to go. Y'all have a good night or day, depending on where you are in the world. Bone Shock, thank you for hanging out. It means the world to me that y'all hang out with me when I talk about computers. I mean, it's like all I ever wanted growing up was to be able to yammer about computers forever. Or just the things I was passionate about in general. There's probably an alternate timeline where I really took music production seriously, and I would do music production streams. I did a couple music production streams way early on, by the way, when I was really into it. But I left that behind to go full-time content creator. Because going full-time doesn't just mean not having a regular job. It also means making sacrifices of other stuff that you need time for, because it is very much time-consuming. But all right, Kelly, are you ready? Good timing, because we just finished with Pete. Is this too busy? Because like I designed this, I made this, and you know, graphic design is my passion. Not really, but is this too busy? Maybe I like it like that. Maybe it's like maybe I'm the modern day Lisa Frank. Kelly Lopez, I'm ready to help you out. Just let me know you are ready to receive the help, and we will rock and roll. Oh, y'all know what time it is. I always turn it up at this part. It just hits. Alucard, yes, we did. I gotta say, one thing Wavelink, because, you know, I try to give credit where credit is due. Wavelink is really good for controlling the separation of stream audio and monitoring audio. So I have separate levels for everything, for what you guys hear and what I hear. But yeah, one thing that was missing, and I didn't realize this, Alucard, but was missing from the playlist, was some of the chip rock stuff, which is unfortunate because I really like that. Let's see. Here are two. I'll do. Let's see. Wait, where was? I like this one a lot. I've used this in a montage before. Okay, just waiting for Kelly Lopez. Kelly Lopez.
Paging Kelly Lopez. Paging Kelly Lopez.
I like this one because it almost has like 2 intros and main parts. Like this is the second one. Cool. Lecture Pete says, gifting a PC to your child, should you build or buy? I would recommend going with a pre-built for that, unless you are experienced at building and you want to guide them through it and teach them. That's awesome. But with a pre-built, there's warranty. There is, like, you know, if it breaks or something, it's covered with warranty. And you're guaranteed for it to work, which, you know how it is when you have kids and something stops working. Like, hey, all right, stuff stops working sometimes. That's how things are. So that's definitely a thing. But teaching your kid to take responsibility when things stop working and maybe fix them is awesome. But it depends on the age of your kid. All right, Equations, thanks for hanging out. Appreciate it. This one's super good too. I need a now playing thing for VLC to pop up like right here. Okay, well, I guess Kelly's not here any longer, I suppose, or is lurking. Actually, let me check. Probably still in chat, but maybe lurking. Okay, here's a word for everybody. Here, if this is helpful, well, it helps me for sure. If you have joined the list and you're waiting for help and you need to go for some reason or step away from your PC or something, or your phone or whatever, just let me know. Let me know so I'm not sitting here like calling out. But what else have I got to do right now? Right now, y'all got to understand something. I'm questioning doing PC matchmaking builds, streams, because a lot of people are holding off from luxury goods right now because of the lack of consumer confidence in the market and our economy and all of that. That is a major thing. People will start saving their money and stop spending it on things that are not necessities when times like this are going on. That's not a... And by the way, guys, y'all are usually good about this, but don't make that fact, me saying that, a political statement. It's just an economic statement. Economics. That's how people react whenever there's trouble in the stock market and economy and things rapidly changing from one day to the next. We all want to be able to pay our rent and buy, feed our kids or ourselves or whatever. That's just how that works. So you're going to see a lot of these streams where we're just big chilling. We're just hanging out. And that's its own good time. And Kelly is here. Awesome. Welcome back, Kelly. Welcome back, Kelly. It's your time. Okay. Araxins, thank you for the lurk. I appreciate it. Okay. And I also genuinely appreciate the fact that even though we're not doing a lot of builds tonight, there's still 70 of you here in total. Thank you. It means a lot to me. Thank you. Okay. So, Kelly, let's talk about your build. First off, thank you for having good taste. I get to do a white build. These are my favorite aesthetically, so that's exciting. Let's look at what you're doing with your PC. Gaming, streaming, content creation / video editing. That sounds like a lot of fun. And that's what I use mine for. Okay. Adding graphic design, I guess, and that's me. Okay. Let me ask you this. What is your actual maximum budget? Like the maximum amount of money dollars that you can spend on your PC, not including taxes and shipping, although a lot of SIs have free shipping. Not including taxes and shipping, not including your peripherals, monitors, stuff like that. It should be in this range that you chose here because all that the details are there in the question. But what's the actual number rather than a range? What's up, JR? How's it going? Great Majir, what's going on? I must say, I do enjoy when you say money dollars, so thank you. I enjoy saying it. It's one of my, I don't remember where I first heard it, and I've never let it go. It is in my personal codex forever. I'm a creator for the YouTube channel Mini Katana. Oh, sick! I love y'all's channel. That's super cool. I watch y'all's stuff all the time. That is very cool. So I might occasionally stream, not too often. We'll mostly be gaming. We could go up to 2,400. Okay. It's hard for me to say this because I really like Mini Katana's content. But yes, you have just submitted yourself for a minor roast. Because, as it states here, if you ignore the instructions and any of the questions, you agree to be roasted on stream. But it does say good-natured roast, don't worry. So, you may have noticed something interesting, Kelly, when you were looking through these questions, that this is probably the most emphasized word on the entire form. The reason is I've had people who will give me a budget. I've been doing this for years now. I have people who give me a certain budget and then raise it halfway through the build. And I'm like, I asked what your maximum budget was. So then I have to redo the build. So every time this happens, well, not every time, but it's been a recent thing that I've started increasing the emphasis of this word every time someone, because you chose a range of 1,500 to 2,000, and then you're like, let's add $400 to that. You told me in the beginning, and that's what's important. That's why I asked now. So, let's say I already did asterisks. I already did greater than and less than symbols for arrows. So, what do we do? How about a Homer Simpson? Should we do a Homer Simpson? Have y'all seen this? It looks like this. Hold on. Basically, it's boom, 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 bam, bam, bam. Oh, that's not right. Hold on. There we go. No. That's the Homer Simpson. What do you think? Should there be a Homer Simpson in there? What do we think? There is a... Yeah, it's not the end of the sentence, though, Lux. I can't do that. What's up, by the way? Just a random Homer Simpson hanging out at the end of this. What do we think? Oh, did I forget something? Hold on. I can't put a sideways M. There was something that worked for that. I can't remember what it was. I can't change the size of the text, Alucard. I can't do it. Now, what I could do, I can put an image here. Let me just delete this. I was at a loss for ideas, so I did that. That's something I used to do in like AIM instant messaging chats. Hold on. No, I don't like that. You know what? Lux is right. There we go. We got it. That'll work. People are still, understand this, Kelly, people are still going to do this. It's just, listen, you got to understand. I put this at the beginning of the form. I'm now contractually obligated to do a mini roast whenever something like this happens. Just so you know. Okay, done. So we're just going to change this to 2400. Now, let's see here. So gaming, streaming, content creation / video editing. Okay, see, the tilde, I'm not sure for the hair. There was something where it was like a sideways M that worked for it, but yeah. Ultra wide, okay. In white, and you want a lot of RGB. Looking for a boutique build, but you don't care about upgrading it over time. I'll tell you, that does... Okay, our Alucard, you realize you're starting to spam this, right? Like, you're breaking our own rules about spamming as a mod. But also, I like the lowercase o for the mouth because he's saying dope. Anyway. Okay. I appreciate that you want to go boutique. Boutique might take away from your ability to run ultra-wide games and do content creation stuff on this. We're probably going to go a little bit more to price to performance, but let's see what we can do. That was all I was going to do, was not able to edit it. That's okay. Okay, where do I want to go with this? I'm thinking. Give me a sec. Maybe Paradox? Maybe Alexander PCs? Let's see what they've got in the $2,400 range. Didn't mean to do that. Dang it. I know they changed up quite a bit. Yo, they added this? That's awesome. Oh, the Archon sold out and the Spartan is over budget. It's going to be by $38 over budget. And that's with a 9070. That's a boutique, though. That's a boutique builder for you. Okay. Good look at power GPU. Good look at... Okay, there's something critical here. I'm going to look really quick back in here. I want to look at the motherboards really quick. I want to see if they have a specific one in stock. If they do, I might have to go again with a custom Skytech one, but they don't have it. They don't have it. Damn. Y'all know the one I'm talking about. For those who are here a lot, MSI Gaming plus Wi-Fi X670E. Okay. Let's do... I buy power then. Custom though. But since you're not concerned with upgrading your CPU over time, you're going to be able to leverage the benefit of Intel Core Ultra 200S. And I think a Core Ultra 7 is going to be perfect for you here because it's one of the best CPUs for video editing in Adobe Premiere Pro while costing a lot less than most of the top CPUs out there. 20 cores for $200 less than Intel's top CPU, which is just 24. 4 extra efficiency cores. For $200, it's a big difference. So we're going to try going Intel, not 14th gen. No, we don't do 14th gen Intel. Thank you. They're just not showing Core Ultra stuff here, but we're just going to go with, I guess we'll just pick one of these. Oh, here we go. That we'll have to customize down, or we can go to this one and customize up. Now, one of the major things about going with iBuyPower is I have one of my biggest discounts of any SI that I have coupon codes with, which is it's over a dozen that I have coupon codes with. But they have one of the biggest discounts out of all of them for custom systems. It's 5% off, which at these numbers can be pretty substantial. But I'm not going to recommend a Y series height case for a content creation and streaming machine. Just don't recommend that. So instead, you wanted it in white, so maybe this guy right here, the Element 9 Pro. I really like this case. I think it looks sick. It has plenty of cooling, great aesthetics. Let's open this in a new tab just to take a look at it. You wanted a lot of RGB. This has got a lot of RGB. So I would probably go with this guy right here. I'll tell you real quick, though, the main reason I don't recommend the Y series cases like the Y60, Y40, and Y70 is because you can't put in expansion cards like an internal capture card or an additional USB card or anything like that because they have only half height PCIe slots. Intel CPU with NVIDIA GPU sounds like the best combo. Wish I knew what that case is since it looks nice. You should be able to just buy this case. It's the iBuyPower... what is it? The Element 9 Pro. Element 9 Pro. Okay, so we've already got the Core Ultra 7 265K. There you go. Well, the 285K is only $92 more. That's not bad. But still not necessary. Plus, it's more heat, more power, all of that. We're going to go with the 360 millimeter AIO. Here you go. That was only $27 more to get 50% better cooling. Or more cooling capacity, basically. Y series also so insanely thick for your desk if you don't have a large desk for putting the PC up there. Very true, Alucard. Very true. Callie, I hope I didn't lose you during that mini roast. So we're already on a 5070 Ti. You can take off 329 by going on the 5060 Ti, but you're going with ultra-wide monitor. I'd probably try to stick with the 5070 Ti on that. But what motherboard do we have in here? Because for a streaming PC, the motherboard is pretty critical. Okay, just checking. You're going to hear me like asking questions, and it is, in a lot of those cases, it's going to be a direct question to you. So I hope you did like the case that I chose. I think it's going to look better it's going to work better for you than something like Y40, Y60, Y70 case, just because streaming, it does make a difference if you want to put an internal capture card in there and stuff. And again, don't worry about this up here. As it stands, I'm pretty sure I can get it very close to that max budget. Let's actually try this as it stands right now. Hold on, let me see what the storage is, because there's usually deals on storage that you can find. Oh, apparently not right now. 2 terabyte Team Group T-Force A440. That's pretty good. The speeds on that are really nice. They do. I don't think it has onboard DRAM cache, but HMB can be pretty consistent in speeds and pretty surprising, honestly. It's improved. No purple option. Very disappointing. Kelly, what would it take for me to get some kind of purple katana on my wall here? If it's purple, it's good. Like that's a good rule for life. Seriously. I think it's cool, by the way, because I did just kind of speed by this earlier. Where is it? Oh, that's right. I was going to look at the RAM. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, that's a free upgrade to DDR5 6400. But man, going 64 gigs is expensive here. Done? Hold up. Let me see. Let me look at my space real quick. Right there. Right there. I just have to figure out whether I want to mount it aggressively or peacefully. Like, do I have the you know, handle and Suba to the left or to the right? I'm a pretty peaceful guy, so probably to the left. Anyway, back to okay. So here's the thing about iBuyPower. Their RAM is pretty expensive. Because generally, if you upgrade this from the 32 gigs of RAM to the 64, which is what I would recommend for a video editing PC, 64 gigs, or pull a Kenshin and have it be reverse blade. I love Rurouni Kenshin, and you know, maybe that's the mood. Maybe that's the way to go. But that's a red scabbard, not purple. So sorry. Saya, red Saya. To the right, upside down, unsheath. Unsheath. Well, yeah, because if you keep it in the sheath all the time, that can be bad for the blade, which is true. But then you can't show the Saya unless I have the dual, like, sort of the two things where I could have the there, whatever. Anyways, okay. Okay, so what I was gonna say was, it's actually like if you upgrade from this to the 64 gigs, it costs you $180 plus you lose the value of this kit right here. So generally, one thing I like to do, if I want someone to go above 32 gigs of RAM, I'll say to downgrade the RAM as much as possible and keep this kit right here, this 16 gig kit, for troubleshooting. If you ever have RAM issues, you could pop out the other kit, put this kit in there. If it boots up, you know you have RAM problems. And then you buy your own kit of memory. And installing your own memory is one of the easier things to do, other than one thing: the amount of pressure that you need to apply to each stick to get it to seat properly. That is the part that's a little tougher for newcomers. So that's an option. But what I'd like to do now is I'm going to leave it as it is here, except we'll get that free upgrade to the 32 gigs of DDR4 6400. That's pretty decent. That's pretty nice right there. And you can go with the Kingston Fury Beast for free. That is a nice upgrade in terms of speed. And that can help you with the graphic design side of things, which if you're making content, you're making thumbnails, you're making maybe logos and things like that here and there. You know, all that. We leave it like this. Let's see what it comes out to with my discount. Oh, that's another thing about iBuyPower with the custom system. They will ship it with the video card in its own box, and you have to install the video card, but that is literally one of the easiest things to do in your PC. You slot it in, it's a couple of screws and the power cable, and you're done. That's something they do to keep it from breaking and shipping, and I'm 100% behind this. In fact, I have a video, which is a video called How to Set Up Your New Gaming PC, where I show you how to install a GPU. I got you. Hold on, let's actually close this. I want to make sure I get the build real quick. Just before I do this. Okay, so we have it. It's already in the cart. Now there's two of them. Let's try putting in code BRAE3, B-R-A-E 3. 5% off custom systems over $9.99. That means it's $131 off, making it's still a little over budget though, $24.90. So we can bring this down a little more. I know we can do that. We're so close. Still, 131 bucks is nice. Of course, if we bring the price down, that discount goes down a little bit. But the only thing is we didn't change the motherboard, but this motherboard's okay. This is the motherboard that I put into the system that I did with Skytech for a Black Friday deal. That's fine. Where can we shave off some of that price? Because I want to leave you with a 5070 Ti, 16 gigs of VRAM, great performance in 1440p and in 4K. I tested the hell out of this thing live on stream, and everybody got to see that for themselves. The one option is to go the route where you take out the this 32 gig kit, go with this base 16 gig kit for now, and order yourself your own kit of RAM that's 64 gigs. You will save some money in the long run doing that. And you'll have the RAM that you need for video editing. You know, if you're doing anything serious video editing, like 4K video editing, all of that without using proxies, which a lot of people do it like that. Once you get into video editing for a long time, you'll start using proxies, and in that case, 32 gigs in some cases might be fine. But when it comes to editing video, speed is one thing, capacity is king, and 64 gigs is a great way to go. How about a CPU downgrade? I don't know that I would do that. I mean, it would work, it would be fine, but I'll show you why. Going from the 285K to the 265K in Premiere Pro is a minuscule difference. But going down to the 245K, even though the score is not that different, you lose a lot of ranks. Like it's below the, of course, it's below 14700K, 14900K, and the it's just and the 9950X. All of these are more expensive than the 245K. So like, yeah. And it's still a 14-core CPU. You're still above the 9900X, the 14600K. A lot of AMD CPUs, there's only one AMD CPU that's keeping up here. Now that the 9950X 3D is out, though, that thing is like up here. But it's also way more expensive than a 265K. But let's see what the price difference is. And you can tell me whether this is worth it or not. 245K would be only $30 off. Yeah, I would stick with the 265K. G. Kelly, this is the kind of stuff that I obsess over, so you don't have to. Now, if we were to go 9070 XT, that would get you under budget. But when it comes to content creation, AMD Radeon cards have come miles and miles ahead of where they used to be when it comes to content creation and streaming, but they're still not yet right up there with NVIDIA. So I don't think changing the GPU is the right move to make. Probably, okay, tariffs aside, terrible pricing from AIBs aside, all that stuff, if you ignore that and you look at the cards based on their merits and their general MSRP positioning, I think the 5070 Ti is my favorite card out of the entire 50 series. It's pretty rad. Same VRAM as a much more expensive 5080. Near this, very similar performance, fully capable of 4K gaming, whether you're using all the features like, multi-frame gen or not. Capable of 4K gaming. Just don't set your games to ultra. Come here. Don't set your graphics to ultra in any games. It's a waste of system resources and you barely get any benefit out of it. High settings are great. They're fine. Medium settings are great and fine. Oh, well, Alucard, unfortunately, Kelly's over on YouTube land, not on Twitch, but yes. Over in Twitch, I have a thing where I explain it very succinctly. I don't like to look at that clip that much because it was like 3 years ago or something, and I look like 10 years younger. Let's not talk about it. Anyway. I like the 5070 Ti, though. I think that's probably the best card that came out in the launch. Motherboard, I don't see a $90 off option that's going to be as good. Let's look at the info on this guy right here. What does our IO look like? Oh, good. No pictures of that. I wouldn't downgrade to this from the one we've already got chosen. Like, this motherboard's okay. And if it turns out you need more IO than this, it's all right. You have a full ATX motherboard and you can add in a USB add-in card. Let me show you. Kelly, if you find you need more IO, as in more USB ports, than what this motherboard comes with, a card like this is the answer. It does not require any additional power from the power supply. It just gets power from the PCIe. It is plug and play. You plug it in, and your system recognizes it. And you can get better, a bunch more USB out of that. And these things are like $25, $30 on Amazon. So that's what I would do. Roast me again. What if we raise the budget $90? No, I'm not roasting you for that because I'm the one who came in over budget. If you're cool with it, I'm cool with it. There's your build. Set everything to ultra. Got it. You got it, Skeeter. You definitely got it. Data Dev, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Like 19 minutes ago. Feel free to hang out. I appreciate a good lurk. Thank you. Don't vape, kids. It's a terrible habit. Too late for me. It's not too late for you. But do hydrate. That is a good habit. Yeah, if it's the end of the build and I came in over budget and I'm clearly struggling to drop it down without compromising the quality of the system, At that point, if you raise the budget, I ain't even going to sweat that. Like, you're good. Oh, I want to be really clear about one thing. I mentioned that I used this motherboard in the build that I did with SkyTech for one of the two Black Friday systems I did. It was the AMD version of this build, not of this motherboard, not the Z890-P. It was the AMD version of that. Thank you. I found you 2 years ago when looking for my girlfriend's PC. That is super cool. That is, you've been around that long? Thank you. I hope that I hope that helped you out then, and I hope that this helped you out now. And of course, there's content there to help you get it set up and everything when you do get it. Now, a big plan that a series I've been trying to get off the ground for a couple of years now, honestly, is a series where I can show you guys how to do things like upgrading the PC that you already have, like your girlfriend's PC, including things like swapping the RAM, adding storage, all kinds of stuff, all the way up to the really complicated things. You basically can go to the level you want to and stay there. Yeah, that's called pre-built rebuilt. And that is, guys, I have news for you. Everybody listen up. We have I had to send back the PC to iBuyPower. That just took too long to get it going, and they needed the PC back. And they're not going to be providing the PC anymore. So I have to reshoot everything that I had at any point. I already had to do that with a lot of it when it came to the deep cool situation. Boy, there's been a lot of speed bumps to this series. But we have a new provider for a new system, and that is getting sent out to me next week. And that is, drum roll please, Starforge Systems. Thank you, Starforge. Cannot wait to work with you guys on this. I told Nick at Starforge's situation, it was immediate. He was like, oh yeah, we're in. We are 100% in. He knew the plan. He knew the series. It's just that when I first started talking about this, that's how iBuyPower was in the very beginning, where they were like, oh no, we want to be the we got this. We're doing this with you. So I didn't ask around at that time. But now this is something where I get to work directly with Starforge Systems. And I mean, it's great for them. Their PC is going to be featured in every episode of my basically first evergreen series I'm ever going to do. So they're smart cookies over there. They know what's up. Starforge did not see that one coming. They're good though. They are good. I can, I need to do more Starforge recommendations, but y'all got to understand. Starforge is like, I do a thing where with multiple different SIs, I have all these different coupon codes. And yes, we have one for Starforge, but it rubs me the wrong way because it's not something that saves the buyer money. It only supports what I do. That doesn't feel right to me. And they can't very well do a discount just with my code because they have a lot of creators that have codes. So they would have to revamp their entire code program. It's just not a coupon code thing. It's a referral code. They're like, hey, go there and use my code to help support the channel. I like to say, use my discount code to save money and support that's what I prefer. So you guys don't hear me recommend Starforge as much because I can't save y'all money there. Also, we can't really change anything about the builds. We can't make any adjustments. So it has to be right. But y'all have heard me recommend them before, and you have heard me speak highly of them before. What's your advice on undervolting the i9 14900K? Envy, I've tried that. If it's already been if it's a 14900K that's already been damaged by the microcode previously, I've tried everything with mine and it is still buggy as hell. Just getting random advice on undervolting rather than looking up an article or a video on doing it. The latter is going to be your better option. Rather than having me just tell you stuff that you have to remember, follow a video where you can follow along with the instructions, and then you'll be good. And make sure that you are on the latest microcode. Also, Alucard's correct. XTU is good at doing that for you, basically, which is Intel's Extreme Tuning Utility. Look up Intel XTU, and it'll take you right to it. Starforge is great. They just need more systems. We'll get Skeeter says Asmongold's reaction to Linus critiquing Starforge was hilarious. Well, guess what? Starforge, I don't know if you guys saw this. I don't know how I haven't mentioned this yet, but it's back, baby. Freaking Secret Shopper series is back. They had the first episode recently. And apparently Starforge was not going to be included, but they were looking for another SI to bring in but they weren't going to include them, but they were like, okay, let's just do Starforge. And then they went $400 under budget. So Starforge is going to have a bad time because the budget was $1,400 US and they went with their $9.99 system. And Linus and Plouffe were both like, no, why would you go so far under budget? There's no way they're going to win. So that sucks, but Starforge is back in. They usually do well, though. So that's, you know. Starforge system is cool. I think they're a great fit for the series. Absolutely agreed. Did you hear how Cyberpower PC was on the LTT video? Araxinus, were you surprised at all, considering what I constantly say about Cyberpower? Dude was like, why are you calling me? Just text, basically. You know, when your friends are like that? That's how this customer service rep was. He was like, so why are you calling us? Just buy off the website. And then they were like, yeah, we don't sell on the phone anymore. We don't do that. No. I was like, yo, that tracks so good with like how they always are. Like their customer service sucks and they could not care less. They don't care because it's been every Secret Shopper series. They get hit super hard for the customer service and they're just like, yeah, but we're awesome. Epic. So like whatever. Like, no, you suck. You're basically like, what if I buy power, but not awesome customer service? That's Cyberpower. Like there is like zero reason to ever buy from Cyberpower because iBuyPower does it better for like the same price with way better customer service. So they're just, unless, and also here's the thing, I've had these kind of criticisms for so long. Almost every SI I've had criticisms for has come through and been straight up like, hey, we hear you. What do you think we can do to improve? You're literally the only pre-built content creator on YouTube. So like, we're going to listen to you. And if I gave them feedback that they didn't agree with, we're like, well, here's why we do it this way. And I'm like, all right, cool. Cyberpower has never given me the time of day. And I'm not even bitter about that. I got better things to do. Like, I got better companies to talk to, honestly. But if they were to ever reach out and be like, yo, you know what? Fair. What can we do to improve it? I would jump at that because no matter what I say, I have limited reach. And thousands of people are still going to buy from Cyberpower. I would rather that they improve. They're not going anywhere. Anyway, Cyberpower rant done. I've ranted about them way too much in my career. I'm done with that. Still better than Dell. Yeah, Dell was pretty bad. Dell straight up hung up on them. Problem with Starforge was the issue that they have no number to call for support. Yeah, I know. It's all online. Considering the fact that everyone's got smartphones, it's not a huge deal, but it would be nice. Got a Starforge Navigator Elite 3 2 weeks ago. Could not be more impressed. Mantool, that's awesome. Also, welcome. What's up? You know, Starforge is run by very smart people. I'm not talking about OTK. OTK are they're cool, and some of them are smart. I personally think S-Van's awesome. I've met him a few times. We talk tech. He's a cool guy. I'm talking about people who know the SI business. That's what I mean. Front facing, it's like, oh yeah, OTK, yeah, buy our PCs. That's cool and all, but they like that sort of hides the fact that they have one of the smartest dudes I know in the business, which is Nick. He's like, and also his team is amazing. Like Ariel is awesome. Everybody from that team is really, really good at what they do. And they have my full respect. That there's you know, it's impossible to not make a good product then. Have they had some slip-ups? Yeah. But they learned from those and they were like, yo, we're sorry. You're right. We should have done better. And then they proceeded to then do better. Right, Cyberpower? That's how that works, right? I think so. Can't be sure, honestly. Cannot be certain. I don't know if that's how that works. I'm just a guy in a room. What do I know? Yeah, no, like that's directly where Nick came from and a bunch of the people on the team. But they were on the East Coast. They were the guys who kept everything running, in spite of the owner of the company, rather than, and yeah. Okay. I don't even know what time it is. What time is it? Oh, I didn't put the system in here. Let's do that. Anyway, Kelly, I hope that was helpful. I'm gonna I'll keep it. I don't know. Maybe I'll go take a look at y'all's website. See what's purple over there. But I hope that helped you. Just checking something real quick. I feel really bad because a couple times now I've gotten raids from BlazeBits, and they end before I do, so I've never had the chance to raid back. Something I try to do. I still need to get the free run case from Starforge before they run out of them. It is a gorgeous case, and I really like the theming on it, where you have sort of the past group and then the present time group, past group on the back and the present time group on the front. Really cool. Or vice versa. Anyway, what's up, Aeon Upheaval? How's it going? Just not sure if I want to go all Lee and Lee again. That's the thing. They're very locked in with those. But that's also because they work with Gallery Panda on their prints and stuff. And if they want to do a different case, Gallery Panda has to do all of that development all over again with every design. So it's a lot of work, a lot of labor, money, all that. Coming from Alexander PC, an excellent company, when all AMD had enough of Intel and Nvidia. Okay, absolutely. Alexander PC, I'm sure, treated you awesome. But Starforge is also run really well. I know that TJ himself likes Nick and the team at Starforge and what Starforge is doing. It's like they serve a different type of clientele, basically. Starforge is getting more into the high volume stuff, but they still do quality work. Whereas Alexander PCs is more on the boutique side. I get that, but it just hurts in the wallet to make something like that again. Yeah, it does. You know what you do? Alucard? Just throw in what are they called? Instead of going with Unifans, because that's where a lot of the money goes. You'll spend more on the fans than on the whole case. Well, except with Starforge, that's going to be an expensive case because of the custom printing with embossing and all that. Just go with these. The Asia Horse Cosmic. There you go. They have reverse flow. They don't have 140 millimeter though. They're all 120. 7800X3D, 9070 XT. Nice. Nice. I really want to get a 9070 XT system for testing. I really do. But I mean, I want to play with it. I mean, I don't do hardware testing like your average hardware benchmarking channel. I just want to put it through its paces. That's what I was going to go with as well, since that is what ZTT used. Yep. Yeah, Zach likes Asia Horse, and he's right about that. Like, that's a very easy to recommend company. Sorry, something took my attention away. Let me check my form here. Yeah, no new entries. When you see me looking, what? Can you center, please? Okay, there we go. When you see me looking way up like that, it's because my normal use for this kind of setup was when I'd be standing up and doing unboxings and stuff. So the 55-inch TV that I use for most of my monitoring and everything is a little higher up than it should be, and lowering it's would be a big pain. So I just, if I want to look at certain sites or whatever I have open here, monitoring Twitch and YouTube, I'm gonna be like. But I did move my chat over here, and I think that looks a lot more natural to read chat over there rather than looking way up there like that. But okay. Huh. I don't know about that now. Okay. All right. Here's what we're gonna do.
KBBQ, like I could be satisfied with this ordering thick pork.
Bro, what are you talking about? Okay. I am subscribed. Okay, what we're gonna do is this. Do you want to do the Adam Sondergaard pose, leaning all the way back down with the monitors higher than normal? Reference from LTT AMD tech upgrade with their labs tech. No, I'm good. I do like the chairs that are like that, but I don't have that. That'd be kind of cool though. This does make me look like I have giant bags under my eyes, which after the last 72 hours would not be surprising. But no, what we're gonna do is hold on. We're gonna bother my friend while he's eating. My buddy Emmett is at an all-you-can-eat K-barbecue in Vegas and chose to stream that, which is apparently a thing. So we're gonna go bother Emmett. Emmett's an awesome retro speedrunner and all that. Just y'all, we've rated him before, but this is for Twitch chat. That's what's going on. We're gonna be rating my buddy Emmett. Let's do that. We're ending a little early, but it's all good because we ran out of people to help, and it's about that time. So we'll do that. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. We're gonna go and get that started. And just, you know what? Bother the hell out of them. Drop some emotes. Don't spam. Just drop some emotes in there. Let them know. And yeah, that'll be fun. Just say hi to my buddy. And I guess I'm gonna stream tomorrow night. We're gonna do some gaming, but I'm gonna try to get everything set up as well to where I can test this 5060 Ti. But until then, that'll be all for this evening. I appreciate y'all, and until next time, take care. Apparently, I still don't have a shortcut to ending. All right, there we go. All right, take care, guys.
Let's go, nerds!
This is the fun
Ooh.
finale. I mean, I'm completely full, but here
They're
we
getting
go.
you're getting requests to see the wedding ring.
You're doing it.
Ooh, you got a raid. It is Lauren. She's behind the camera tonight.
That's like sort of doing. Well, there you go.
What's up, Bray? Stream's ending soon, but we still appreciate the raid. Is it a Triforce? I don't think. Is it a Triforce?
It is.
Oh my god, that's so cool.
There's actually a jeweler in New York. She does it. It's called Soulbound.
Oh wow.
The name of the jewelry.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
has, like Zelda jewelry, WoW jewelry,
That's so cool.
wedding ring specifically.
Yeah. When we're not across the table, I do want to see it. That's
Drop
awesome.
it right in that.
Yeah, right in the ground.